Anna, have you figured out what we're having for dinner tonight?
I was thinking of doing Kentucky Fried Chicken with coleslaw, of course. With the fries, too. Is that okay?
KFC, huh? Well then, for lunch, can you cook some type of pasta? I was thinking that ravioli or maybe some spaghetti would be nice and hold me over until dinner.
Oh, okay. But will pasta be enough for you? I bet you're planning on having about 2 platefuls of it, huh?
What are you saying? That I'm a big eater? Of course I'm only going to have just 1 serving.
Really? You never eat that little when it comes to food. Maybe you're thinking of just having a little for lunch, so that way you can eat as much as possible for dinner?
As much as possible. Do you think I'm trying to get that fat?
Well, you do eat a lot. And you have gone up a few waist sizes in the last year. You even go as far as to eat a lot of Billy and Sarah's leftover food.
Well, that's just because those two leave a lot of food on their plates, so I don't want it going to waste.
I don't think they see it that way, but okay. You just eat so damn quick, and then when you're finished with your food, you start staring at their dishes. Sarah got super mad at you yesterday for eating a lot of her food, you know. You even ate the whole steak that she was saving to eat at the end. She was planning to finish everything off, but when she went to the bathroom, you took it and ate it all before she came back.
She was just saying that. Trust me. She could have never finished all of that off by herself. Anyway, I've noticed that Sarah is getting a little chubby recently, don't you think? So really, me eating her food for her will help her out a ton in the long run.
Sarah is still in middle school, so there's no reason you should be concerned about her body weight right now. And it's not even like she eats much to begin with. So anyway, can you please refrain from eating the rest of our family's food? I make sure that when I cook everything, it's all portioned out for each of us. So just eat what I've given you, okay?
I'm just saving her from getting big and fat.
I think you're the one who needs saving. You're getting bigger too, you know. So you're only allowed to eat their food if they say you can.
Fine.
I'm already giving you a big portion of food, so don't get mad, okay? Promise me that you won't keep eating their food.
Fine, I won't.
Everyone has a different pace that they eat at, so just because you're faster, that doesn't mean you get to steal their food.
Okay, I get it. Jeez. And by the way, no, I don't think you give me a big portion. I actually think the portions are getting smaller.
What? No way.
It's starting to look like you're cheaping out when you go shopping for groceries. Or maybe things are just getting more expensive now. Either way, I think you should at least be giving me a bit more for dinner. So I think I'll raise the amount you can spend on groceries this month so that things aren't looking so thinned out.
I've been buying the same amount I always buy. But because you keep eating everyone else's food, I've had to cut back on how much I make for dinner. Sarah is in middle school and needs to eat more, while Billy is still in elementary school, so he'll start needing to eat more soon. Could you just be a bit more careful from now on, please?
Why do I have to be the one to be careful? I'm the one who's bringing in the money to pay for the food. I should be able to have whatever's left without you all whining about it.
Excuse me? What the hell? You think you pay for everything?
Sure I do.
Then how do you explain what happened with the cake that Sarah's friend made for her? You didn't use her money to buy that, yet you went ahead and ate more than half of it without asking her.
Well, that was because no one told me not to eat it. It was in the fridge and that's all I knew.
Well, before you start eating everything in the fridge, you should have asked me about it first. You have also been eating things that I've saved in there for future dishes. And you've even gotten into Billy's pudding cups that I keep for when he needs a snack. I know that you bring in money that pays for most of the food, but I'm also paying for things with my part-time job too.
I get it. I'll make sure to ask you before I eat. Are you happy now?
You better promise me. If you can't stick to your words, then you will need to give me more money for food. And before you take other people's food at the table, make sure you tell me. And things that are in the fridge, you need to make sure I won't be using it for my recipes in the coming days, okay?
I know not to eat a lot of your food because you leave notes on them.
Paul, are you making fun of the situation here? Are you sure you understand me?
Yes, I do. I completely understand what you're asking. I was just saying that with you, you leave notes telling me not to touch the food, so I know. Don't worry, jeez. Well then, for today's dinner, make sure to pile my plate with KFC.
Mom! Dad ate my food again! The cookies that I was planning to eat when I got home from school today were all gone when I got here. And those were all the cookies I bought with the money I'd saved up. This has to have been Dad's fault. Because Billy is still in school right now. It wasn't him. Oh gosh. I'm sorry to hear that, Sarah. I'm at the store buying groceries right now, so I can pick some cookies up for you before leaving. No, Mom. The cookies that I bought, I don't think they're still being sold anymore. I bought them from that store just in front of the city hall, and they were really popular ones. I bet they've all been sold out before noon. Really? Well, let me check. And would it be okay if I picked up some other brand of cookies then? Fine. But the next time I have a day off of school, can we go shopping together? Sure. For more cookies? I'll give you some money for yourself and Billy so that you can get some for him too. Awesome! Thank you! This is unfortunate because I made sure to warn your father about all of this. Why did he end up still eating your things like that? Even this morning, the bread I was saving for breakfast was all gone. This is starting to drive me crazy. Well, maybe you should put a lock on the fridge so that he can't get in. Because no matter how many times you keep telling him, he keeps on eating everything. Like at dinner when he just starts eating food off of everyone else's dishes. And after we are all out of food, he'll say that he ate too much and then go take a nap on the couch. You have that right. He ends up eating all of the side dishes that I make, and I end up having to make ready-to-eat soup for you all. Maybe we can eat at a different time then? What do you think? That sounds like a good idea. Dad will look pretty lonely eating all by himself, but this was all his fault to begin with. Then today, let's all have dinner before your dad gets home. Finally! It's been a long time since we've been able to relax and eat. I know he probably wants to eat a lot of your cooking since it's so good, but still, we want it too. And the fact that he wants it all to himself is just the worst. Who does that? And it's funny because your dad never compliments my food like you do. But since you've said that, I feel a lot more excited to cook for you kiddos now. I'll make sure from today that I cook a lot more food for you and Billy to eat, okay? Oh, I just remembered. It's Christmas soon, right? I have a whole bunch of things that I really want to eat. Can I ask you to make something for me? Of course. But Dad will also be around, so we have to try our best to hide whatever I make for you so he can't get to it. Oh, okay. True. Okay, let's do that. Or how about you just make twice as much? That way Dad can eat as much as he'd like, and the rest of us can have our share too. Right? Well, I guess I can figure out how to make extra portions. I like to cook, so that's all fine with me. But on Christmas Day, we'll also be going over to your grandparents' house to celebrate there, right? So make sure that before we get home to have the family dinner, you don't eat too many sweets over at their place, okay? All right. I'll make sure that when we are at their house, Dad is the only one that eats all of the lunch they make. Because it'll be your cooking for dinner, I'll make sure to only eat just a bit there. Good. Nice plan.
Hey, hurry up and get home. Where did you all go anyway?
I took all the kids with me to a restaurant to have dinner.
What? But you made dinner for all of us to eat here, right? So hurry up and get back here. I'm hungry.
Well, you went ahead and ate pretty much all of what I made, so we had to go out to find some more food. I even told you not to eat any of what I made. But by the time I had come into the kitchen, half of what I'd made was gone. Billy was crying because of you, And Sarah is really angry with you as well.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have put all the food out on the table like that. There was no way I could let all of that delicious-looking food just sit out like that.
But it's Christmas! I was making all sorts of food for us to eat, and yet you still couldn't hold off until dinner. It was just another 30 minutes before my parents brought the kids home. But even within that short amount of time, you already started eating. So I had no choice but to take the kids with me to get something else to eat.
But so what? Why does that mean the rest of you get to go out now? I made sure to leave some food for the rest of you guys.
That isn't the problem we have with you, Paul. And by the way, you're really bad at actually leaving any food for the rest of us. So I highly doubt there's enough there for the three of us.
Shut up. Don't just leave me behind because I ate some dinner before you all. I told you before that this is all food paid for with my money. Why not just cook some more?
Then what about the cake that we specifically hid in the garage? You ate that one too! You're so mean, Dad!
Sarah, listen. I'm sorry about that, okay? But that cake was one damn tasty cake for sure.
Dad, that was the cake that I bought for us with my money. I had to reserve that cake in advance and everything.
Oh, really?
Yes!
I didn't know that that was the case, Sarah. Sorry about that.
I read the messages between you and Mom, and you're such a jerk. I bought that cake with the money I received from Grandma and Grandpa on my birthday. That was the money they said I could have after all the help I did over at their place.
Well, I never knew about that.
Ever since my birthday, I have been saving a lot of money for that really nice cake. Yet you selfishly ate it all by yourself.
Well, I'm really sorry about that. But it was just a cake, so there has to still be some stores that you can buy another at, right?
That was the cake I wanted to share with the family. I was thinking that would be my present to everyone, since it was pretty expensive. But even then, I never thought you'd eat it. I even wrote a note that said not to touch it that I placed on top of it.
I'm sorry, but I didn't see that note.
Dad, you've been eating way too much recently. Why do you keep thinking it's okay to just eat whatever you see? Why can't you just wait and ask one of us if you're allowed to eat anything?
Well, my stomach is always a little empty, so I just have to get a bite or two.
Well, from now on, maybe you should start thinking with your brain and not your belly. Both me and Billy were really looking forward to eating all of that tasty-looking food today that Mom made. Is it a bad thing that your own kids want to eat the food that you paid for?
Well, that's not what I meant, darling.
I really, really wanted to eat that dinner that Mom made today. But at this point, I can't eat anything at that house. You just think that whatever is in that house is yours. So that's why Mom asked us to leave you there and we go out for dinner today at whatever restaurant was open.
But today is Christmas, Sarah. There's at least a little cake left over. And we were all supposed to be together as a family celebrating. And recently, I've been eating alone quite a lot, so it's been really lonely. So would you guys come back here and eat with me?
Well, you've already eaten dinner on your own, so we aren't coming home now. And even if we decide to come home to eat with you, you just start eating more of what's left over.
I'm telling you that I already ate. There's no way I can fit any more into me right now.
So then we are just going to be eating your leftovers? Don't treat us like you are allowed to enjoy Christmas before the rest of us can. Anyway, our food's here, so we are going to start eating now. Please don't bother texting us anymore.
Wait, Sarah. I'm apologizing, so tell your mother to get back here.
Well, we don't want to see you right now, so blah! You should at least let us have a relaxing dinner for Christmas, so leave us alone. Bye, Dad.
Hannah, you still haven't come back from your parents' place. To me, this all feels a bit out of hand, don't you think?
Really? Because I thought this was just the right thing to do after all the times I had warned you. But you never listened to me. And so when you just kept going against my word, I had to leave you.
I get that you're upset, but leaving the house with the kids because of that does seem a little wrong and extreme. I've never heard of anyone leaving their home just because their husband eats a lot of food. And I already apologized for eating that great cake Sarah ordered for us. So it's getting time for you guys to stop messing around and come back home.
The fact that you don't see any of this as a problem is the problem. You'd even go as far as stealing the kids' snacks. And even when I keep telling you to quit, you just keep going. You did it even on Christmas. And on that day, we had had enough and decided it was time to go. So you need to see that we left you because we are all angered by your pathetic eating habits.
Well, can't you all at least cut me some slack? There's no need to get upset over food. It's on you guys for not getting to all your food first, right?
Well, if that's the way you want to think of it, then we aren't coming home. If we started doing this to you and your food, what would you think? How would you feel not having any safe place to keep your food and eat? When we'd sit down for dinner, you'd eat all the main foods and leave us with just bread and soup. I'd end up having to make microwave food for the kids so that they could still get protein and vegetables.
Well, that's because you guys never eat that food before it goes cold.
Well, do you think that everyone has to eat as fast as you do? And this isn't just about dinner. I'm talking about you eating all the kids' snacks and the ingredients for other meals. To me, that looks like you don't care about the rest of us. Do you think it's all right that we don't get to eat any of the delicious foods in the house?
Of course, I don't think that. I'm really, really sorry for what happened this time that pissed you all off.
Are you sure? You've said that plenty of times, yet never changed. All you do is say that you feel sorry and then go back to hoarding all the food for yourself. And even if I cook more food or buy more snacks, you just eat more of it.
Well, it's just that when I see something that looks good, I accidentally eat most of it.
Then maybe it's time you go see a doctor or something.
Why should I do that?
Because you're eating things without even thinking about it. You might have something wrong mentally that needs to be addressed. And look at your weight. You're already over 300 pounds and are only 5'9". That's not healthy. And I'm not looking forward to you having a heart attack and passing away. Then it'll only be me left to raise the kids. And I'll have to find a way to get a full-time job.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong about my weight.
So then you're completely okay thinking about the fact that you have been eating this much food. Is that it? You must just think that all that extra weight is your stomach making more space for you to eat more of our food then. If you think that way, then I'm not sure I want to keep cooking for you.
I promise not to eat your guys' food, okay? And if I do start to get the urge to eat something, I'll definitely come ask one of you guys first.
Well, we already made that promise earlier and you broke it right away. If you start to get hungry that quickly and need something to eat, then go out and buy it yourself. Then I'll stop complaining about how much you eat and your weight. But I'm sure that even then you'd try and take your kids' snacks. If you keep doing this, I'm not sure I'll be able to stick around you any longer.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean? When you say you don't want to be around me, you're not thinking about getting a divorce, right?
Well, if you continue with this selfish behavior, then I don't know. Because of the way you've been acting, I've become really stressed about cooking. So then I start thinking you'd be better off just living and eating on your own. So that way you can get what your heart desires. That'll leave me and the kids to go out and finally have the peace of mind to buy and eat what we want without it being stolen from us.
I'm sorry. I never really thought about how this all was affecting you guys.
You think? We knew that you never thought about us. And it's great to see you finally realizing that. Do you think we want to live with someone that doesn't care for us?
Then, from this day on, I'll change for you all. I'll no longer eat more than I need. And anytime I want to eat something that isn't mine, I'll just go out and buy my own.
And how am I going to trust you this time? Up until now, you've always just given me empty promises, and then you've gone ahead and continued to eat our food anyway.
So then come back home and see with your own eyes. You'll be able to see that I'm really going to change.
I'm really afraid to give you any more chances.
I know that, but please, you've got to give me another chance to make things right. I don't want you or the kids to leave me over this, okay?
Fine. But if you go back to stealing our food again, then I really will leave with the kids and then I'll divorce you. I know that most people might think this is extreme, but when it just keeps happening this many times, you really have no other choice.
I know. So I will change. I really want to show you that I still care about you all.
Well then, to start, go ahead and apologize to your daughter. She told me that she felt bad about you always eating things without being able to control yourself, you know? And when you ate the Christmas cake she bought for us, I think that really broke her heart into pieces. She told you not to eat it, yet you ate it all anyway.
I'll apologize to both Sarah and Billy. I'll apologize for ruining their Christmas this year, and for all of the food I've been eating.
Okay, good. I still have one more thing to ask of you.
What's that? I'll do anything for you now that I know you're being so forgiving.
When we get back to the house and things start to get normal again, I want you to start eating after all of us.
What?
You can still come to the table to eat with us, but you can't start eating anything until 15 minutes after we have all started. Once you've had the chance to watch us all eat the food that I've prepared, you can start eating yours. And then I'd really like you to start burning that extra weight you've put on over the past few years.
That's a crazy idea, Hannah. And if you all start doing that, won't there be nothing for me to eat?
Well, this has been what you've done to us for months, right? You told me that if we had something we wanted to eat that was gone, we could make some more for ourselves, right? So don't be a hypocrite.
But that's extreme. There's no need for that.
Then we won't be coming home.
Okay, fine. Fine. You can have it your way. Just come back, okay?
So I brought the kids with me back to the house and Paul apologized to both of them and to me as well. Of course, the kids still didn't feel too happy with him. But after a while, they were all laughing about it as we sat at the dinner table to eat. Having my husband start eating 15 minutes after the rest of us was a great idea too. It sure gave Paul the lesson that he needed to learn. And after a few weeks of doing that, he started to lose weight, which was the icing on top of the cake too. He not only looked better, but he said he felt better from the inside. I'm sure that all of this might sound a bit extreme or crazy, but you don't understand how annoying it was. So I'm glad that we sorted this out. I told him, though, that if he gets back to his bad eating habits again, this time we're definitely leaving him. We also managed to save a bit of money every week, too, which was another great thing. So, here's to hoping that things will only get better from here. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like the video and leave a comment. See you in the next one.